Interest rate bets spiked after Jerome Powell's remarks at Jackson Hole the week of August 22nd. Now, on the surface, markets treated it like a dovish pivot and rallied hard. But let's be clear, nothing concrete has changed yet. Rates are still sitting where they were, and we've got fresh inflation and unemployment numbers coming before the September FOMC meeting. Still, if Powell's shift in tone holds, it sets the stage for some very real long-term consequences for the US dollar and for hard assets like gold. If you value balanced and unique insights in gold and silver, you've come to the right place. Subscribing helps us keep this channel alive and ad-free. Thank you. On August 22nd, markets surged on what sounded like unexpectedly good news. For months, Powell has insisted inflation was the bigger threat than unemployment, defending restrictive rates as the only way to keep prices under control. But this time was different. While careful not to announce any policy shift, Powell signaled that the balance of risks has changed and that the Fed may need to adjust. That matters because the Fed has a dual mandate: keep inflation in check while supporting maximum employment. Every move on rates ripples through the entire financial system: treasuries, real estate, stocks, bonds, and yes, gold. So when Powell even hints at easing, markets reposition. And this latest hint has investors now betting on a rate cut with more certainty than ever. So why the sudden change of heart? Well, part of that answer comes down to bad data. It recently came out that the Bureau of Labor Statistics overstated job creation by a massive margin. Hundreds of thousands of jobs that were never actually created. That error gave us a distorted picture of the labor market's strength and may have kept rates higher than they otherwise would have been. The fallout was big enough to trigger a high-profile firing at the BLS, with some suggesting politics were at play. Regardless of the motives, the reality is simple. The data was wrong. And if the Fed had seen the real numbers earlier, we might already have a rate cut on the books. Powell's softer tone at Jackson Hole only reinforces that point. The economic backdrop looks far weaker than we were led to believe. But lowering rates now carries risks of its own. The real impact of tariffs is only just beginning to filter through the economy. Many companies delayed the pain by stockpiling inventory and pushing back price hikes, but those buffers are running thin. Inflation has already been creeping higher month after month, drifting toward 3% and away from the Fed's 2% target. The Producer Price Index also came in almost a full percentage point hotter than expected, a clear warning sign. If rates come down too soon, that pressure could explode, and what looks like a temporary reprieve in markets could quickly turn into a resurgence of inflation. Powell's latest remarks carry an uncomfortable echo of the pandemic years. At Jackson Hole, he described inflation pressures as a one-time shift in the price level, calling it a reasonable base case. That sounds awfully familiar. Almost word for word like the transitory narrative we were fed while inflation kept climbing after COVID. Powell even softened the Fed's own target, framing the 2% goal as a longer-run objective. In plain terms, that's moving the goalposts. Gives the Fed cover to justify a rate cut, but it also makes persistently higher inflation the most likely outcome. And that brings us to the dollar and to gold. The dollar index slid from 98.7 to 97.6 in a single day after Powell's remarks, a sharp 1.1% drop driven entirely by rate expectations. When rates fall, the dollar weakens and that ripples straight into treasuries. Yields climbed as the curve steepened right after Powell spoke, a reminder of just how fast markets adjust. For gold, the picture's a little more complicated. Treasuries compete directly with gold because they offer yield, while gold only pays off if prices move higher. But A weaker dollar gives gold a tailwind, and if inflation starts running hotter than rates, we enter a period of negative real yields, the exact environment where gold has historically outperformed. That mix sets the stage for volatility, but it also tilts the advantage toward real assets over paper ones as policy shifts. Silver could be the real story here. It's a higher beta asset than gold, which means it tends to move further and faster when conditions shift in its favor. As we speak, silver is pressing up against the $40 mark, an important psychological price level. If it breaks through, history suggests the move that follows could bring excellent returns. Now, this is assuming rate cuts actually manifest, but even the expectation for further cuts could throw fuel on the fire. Gold is already hovering near all-time highs, but silver is still sitting roughly 20 to 25% below its peak. That gap gives it far more room to run, especially in an environment of weakening dollars, negative real yields, and rising demand for tangible assets. In theater, the phrase "the stage is set" is not a specific call or cue, but a statement that the physical stage and its surroundings are prepared for the performance. That's exactly where we are now, in a moment of readiness before the scene changes. And that's all we have for you today. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.